Doctors again. I'm Chad. This is Albert. This episode is called Our Take on the 5 Bottles. You may have seen this, and we've seen it too. And I think almost everyone has done this shtick because on Reddit they had their 5 bottles in the 5 categories. The 5 bottles you need in your bar. What are they again, Albert?
So you need a daily drinker.
You're the young guy. You got to remind the old guy.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
I
I feel young. So you need a daily drinker. You need a cheap mixer. You need something to impress your friends.
Yeah.
You need something special for end of the week, Friday night. Just
been a long week. It's
Yeah.
Friday. I want to come home and hit this.
a little thing to gift yourself at the end of a hard work week.
Yeah.
And then your special occasion bottle, something that you're saving for whatever
Once
reason.
or twice.
Yeah.
And we'll start out, I'll start it with the first category. The first category is, are we going to do daily drinker or cheap mixer? Because to me, they're kind of interchangeable.
They are a little bit interchangeable. I agree with you.
There's going to be crossover in these, number one.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, I think anytime you're picking one of these bottles, you want to also pick it that it may work someplace else. So to me, let's start out with cheap mixer.
Okay.
I have done this for years. This has been my cheap mixer.
That is your cheap mixer. Yeah.
It has been,
Yeah.
and I love it. But I also could pour it in a glass. I can use it for a cocktail if I need to. If I'm just going to make an old fashioned and I got some Jim Beam Black sitting around. But it's so affordable. I can get, this is a liter. I can get a 1.75 of this for about $28, I think. And so a liter, I think, is like 20, 22. So I don't feel bad if I just want to, throw it in a glass with some lemonade on a hot
Ginger ale or whatever.
Ginger ale, whatever you like to do. So to me, it's Jim Beam Black. There's a lot of other great choices in this category, but I'll defer to you, to your choice.
So this is the cheap mixer, right? So for me, the cheap mixer is Old Forester. And really, I go back and forth between the 100 and the 86.
There's not much price difference.
There's not much price difference. It's a couple bucks. My preference is the 100 because every once in a while, I just pour it in a glass and I sip on it. Mm-hmm. But at $24, I don't feel bad if I throw it in some lemonade. Mm-hmm. And I think the Old Forester flavor profile lends itself. It's not an overpowering bourbon. So yeah, you throw in some lemonade, you can sip it straight. It's a very versatile bourbon, in my opinion.
Well, and if you've seen our Old Forester line, we even said the 100 proof. If you're looking for value in the Old Forester line, that's it.
It's a great value.
Because I've seen that on sale for like $20, 21 at our local stores. So
now I
rock and roll
will
with
say one of the others that I thought about but I didn't choose is the Four Roses Yellow Label. The reason I didn't take Four Roses is because Four Roses isn't something that sometimes I would just pour in a glass like I will this.
Yeah, if I had, this and Four Roses, I'll mix. This is less often in a glass.
All right, so category number 2.
Go ahead. You start this one.
This one was your daily sipper, which...
Daily
drinker, daily sipper, whatever. I go, not a whole lot of difference for me. Mm-hmm. I picked Old Grandad Bottled in Bond. It's another 100 proof bottle. You can see by how empty it is that this is kind of one of my frequent sippers.
You do not feel bad about pouring that in a glass anytime.
Really don't. And it's, again, another $22, $24 bottle that's, I don't feel bad going through this bottle relatively quickly. You know what I mean? And having to go get another bottle at the store. So I think that's the other thing is both of these bottles are readily available pretty much anywhere, at least where we live. And I think we've traveled around a bit. These are pretty easy to find almost anywhere.
You can get them anywhere.
Yeah. What do you got?
To me, you know how I'm about the Makers line. This is my daily. I was kind of going to stay in there. I didn't know if I'd go, but to me, you can get Makers 46 anywhere, and it's really not that much more expensive than regular Makers. I think it's around 30 I can get this for. I think of the Makers line, and we should blind test this at some point. We should. Maybe a future episode, eh? This is where I would go with it. It makes a great cocktail. It works in a glass all by itself. It is a Maker's Mark to me is a workhorse, and I love the 46.
So our third bottle.
Third bottle.
Impress your friends, right? This is your impress your friends
Yeah,
bottle.
and you heard my shtick on this yesterday, and you agreed with it. I said, look, don't buy bourbon to impress your friends. In fact, don't buy anything to impress your friends. Don't say I have the nicest shoes or what, and especially not bourbon. Buy bourbon because you enjoy it.
And you want to drink it.
So to me, impress your friends is, for lack of a better term, kind of a bullshit category.
Yeah, I agree. Right? I agree.
The category should be impress yourself.
Amen.
Amen. So you get something that you say, this maybe not everyone likes, but man, I've had it and it fits me. It fits my profile. I love it. And it is, for me, and I've gotten this as a gift, and I've had their bourbon before, Garrison Brothers, small batch, out of Hyde, Texas. But I do like their bourbon. It has a very unique profile. In fact, I might pour some in my glass right now. It's got a very nutty taste. If you don't know, it's the mash bill is used. They use pecan yeast, so it has sort of this pecan-y, nutty flavor to it. This small batch is at 94 proof, and to me, it's just something that impresses me. So that's me. Where are you going with impress yourself? Because we don't drink to impress our friends.
No. I mean, it goes back to our motto, right? Like when we started this, what's our motto? Bourbon is for drinking, not hoarding. I mean, you want to collect it, fine, but if you're going to collect it, freaking drink it, right? For me, right now, this is my impress bottle. Myself bottle. This is the Knob Creek 12 year. It's 100 proof. We taste tested it on one of the episodes.
Because prior to this, I was not a big Knob Creek guy.
No.
That is fantastic.
It really is. And heck.
And it is.
You talk while I pour.
If you're going to impress yourself, that's a good one.
This is a great bottle. Choice. I really like it. I enjoy it. It's, at this point, our bars are getting pretty full from doing this show. And
just from living.
Well, that too. But the show certainly added a few bottles to our bar, and this is one that I keep coming back to over and over again, which is, again, why when our guy was like, oh, these are the last 3 bottles, I was like, nah, hell, just give them all to me. Yeah, just sorry, guys.
Plus, what was that? That wasn't that much.
No, I don't even remember what it was. Like
I think they're around
bucks,
50, 60
bucks.
I mean, this is about a 70.
Yeah,
I think it's 69 or something.
And I always say, when we say not that much, I mean, it's all relative, right? Mm-hmm. For some people, $40 or $50 for bourbon may be spending an awful lot. In the bourbon world, certainly on the secondary market, $40, $50 is nothing.
Yeah.
So. All
right, where are we at? We're at Friday night. You've had a long week. You want something.
Yeah.
We agreed on this one, and it's. I'm not saying we don't agree a lot, but I'm saying we don't. But there are certain things we do agree on.
We certainly agree. We have some similar tastes.
Do you want to introduce this one?
I mean, everyone should know. Before. Everyone should know what's coming. It's Wild Turkey Rare Breed. I mean, it's no surprise that this is one of our favorites. We talk about it frequently on the episodes. It's a fantastic bottle. It's 118 proof? 117 proof, whatever it is. So it's a little bit of a pull,
and that's why I wouldn't call it a daily.
Yeah, it's a bit much for a daily drinker, unless
unless you're in it depends on the mood you're in, I guess.
That you're hitting that pandemic cirrhosis of the liver,
yeah.
Sure.
But I'll be honest, we're filming this on a Saturday. Mm-hmm. Last night was Friday. I had a long week, and that was what I came home and had a glass of, and so it fits the category.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, I was at a friend's house last night, and what's the bottle that I took over? That was one of our first episodes, right? Like, what's the bottle you take to a friend's house? What did I take to my friend's house? I picked up a bottle of Rare Breed, and then we opened it, and I drank some of it. So,
yeah, of course.
Your Friday night drink,
and that's why, again, I don't feel bad because we can find this all the time.
All the time.
And it's only about $40-$45.
No, I mean, I think if you look across our spectrum so far, there's not something here that is like, oh, you have to go to the secondary market and drop $1,000 to get it.
No.
Neither one of us
nobody wants
are
that.
those guys. We're not going to do it.
If you got that $1,000 bottle and you want to impress your friends with it, great. I just think it's silly.
Yeah.
Impress yourself. Find something you like to drink and drink it, because that's what it's for.
And we've had a lot of bourbon at this point in our lives, and I have yet to find one that I think I would spend $1,000 on. I know you folks are out there, and I know it exists.
And I'm not gonna judge. I just
No, I mean if that's your jam.
I kind of am. Special occasion, you got it on your shelf. You only want to break it out a couple times a year. Now, this is tough, and I'll let you start.
Okay.
And roll with this.
So, for me, I mean, there were a lot of things that I considered for this bottle. Like I've got a bottle of Makers that I got for my birthday that has my name engraved in the bottle. I don't break that one out very often. It's not.
You can always just fill it back up.
Yeah, you can just fill it back up. I've thought about this too. I've got a bottle of Blanton's that I got for my birthday that I don't open up very often. Because now it's really hard to
It's hard
get.
to find, yeah.
Right?
You hate to take these whiskeys that
Yep.
you can't find and drink the last sip of it.
And the one that I chose is along those lines. This is your bottle of Antique 107, but I have a bottle of Antique 107 too. And I haven't opened it up yet, and I guess I'm just waiting for that special occasion to open it up.
And I'll say that was gifted to me, but I do like it. It's fantastic.
It's a really good bourbon, and around here, for us, Weller products are hard as hell to find. And again, neither one of us is going to go out on the secondary market and pay secondary prices because we're cheap bastards. At least when it comes to
bastards,
bourbon, anyway.
Won't pay secondary
No,
prices.
it's just silly.
But I like, and that's a great choice. Anything that you get, and you really do. You break it out once or twice a year.
Yeah. But some people are going to have different reasons for picking their.
And I have a different
exactly,
reason. And that's a nice segue into why. A couple times a year, and I have it in the box, and I can pull it out and show. I have had this bottle now for almost 3 years. And it is a bottle of Booker's. It's 2017, batch 4. It's called Sip a While. And this was given to me. We are doctors in real life. This was given to me as a gift when my father died from nursing staff. And so I think those are the bottles that really mean a lot. When you got people who know you and say, something happens in your life, whatever it may be, death of a loved one. I see this all the time online. I saw a nice thing online today where someone had just passed their boards, and they said they pulled out some special stuff. Now that bottle they may pull out every year on that celebration of passing their boards, whatever it might be. But to me, I pull this out on Father's Day, on my dad's birthday. I'll break it out a couple times a year. So that's why that is my special bottle. So each one of you, it may be something you can't get. It may be something that's given as a very special gift to mark an occasion, but that's mine. And everyone can have their own, but that's mine.
So that's our 5 bottles that you need for your bar. Now, I want to make one closing statement, and that I think the whole premise of this is bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay?
Don't limit yourself to 5 bottles.
Don't limit yourself to 5 bottles. There are so many good bourbons out there, and if could I live by only 5 bottles? I mean, I guess I could, but I wouldn't want to.
You don't have to.
And
that's the thing. This has gained steam on like I said, everyone has done this.
Everybody's done this.
So this is our take. But the bottom line is, I think a couple things. Don't buy bourbon to impress other people.
Yes.
That to me is a bullshit
Bourbon
category.
is for drinking, brother.
And don't limit yourself to 5 bottles. There's
No.
too much good stuff out there.
We didn't touch on the Elijah
There's
Craig
so many other
barrel proof. We didn't touch on the toasted barrel from Elijah Craig. We didn't touch on the
Blanton's.
Old Forester.
We didn't touch on some
series,
of the Buffalo Trace products.
There's
the Old
so
Forester
many
series.
good bourbons. Don't limit yourself to 5.
Woodford. I could put Woodford in a couple of these categories. I could put, there's a lot of things out there. So don't go, well, you just need 5 bottles, because maybe that's all you need if we're talking about need. And if we're really talking about need, you need 1.
Yeah.
Some night when you come home and you need some bourbon, do you need more than 1? Maybe not. But it is a lot more fun if you have more than 5. So make it fun and have fun with it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the end. I mean, you can add to that.
The only thing I had to add is for us, Father's Day is tomorrow. So, in remembrance of your father, to my father, happy Father's Day. And
Bourbon is for drinking.
Bourbon is for drinking.
Like, subscribe. Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.